Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Dr. Phil Epines from the studios of Love Beyond the Sea. Relationship question today is something along this line. Everyone calls me a great guy, but nobody wants to date me. Why is that? Is anybody out there able to relate to this? The reason I like this question is because growing up and being alone for so long, I think people kind of get the assumption that, well, if a guy or a girl is single and they're 25, 30, 35, 40 years old, then there must be, there just has to be something wrong with them. You know, they're hiding something. But in my case, of course, they could have been just trying to be friendly. People would say, well, you're not a bad-looking guy, but you have a decent personality. You don't have any kooky habits. I don't know why why it's so hard to get a date. And for a while, I thought I was like the only one that somebody could say that about until I realized that singles groups and churches were pretty big, and a lot of people were there, and they just couldn't find anybody. And now, even after I've been married for 5 years, I think it's even harder now for people to find somebody than it was when I was still single, and it was really hard. It's not like I had been in prison or something like that. I don't think I dressed really strange. Um, but, it was just really hard to get somebody to accept a date, and then after a while you stop trying, and then you start trying again, and that doesn't work. So, it's just hard to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. But there's a lot of normal guys, great guys, nice guys, and they're having a hard time trying to find a date. So why is that? Well, you could just assume that the women are looking for something else. Maybe guys are looking for the wrong type of women. Women that they just don't have a chance at. I suppose everybody's situation is different. In my case, I think I was pretty much asking people that didn't know me. So I don't think it's like I had some kind of reputation ahead of time. And it may have been that they just didn't want to go out with somebody that they didn't know anything about. Um, I don't know. But for me, it was very disheartening. So I want you to know that if you're in that boat too, and you know you don't know what's wrong with you, and people say you're a great guy, but you're having trouble getting dates, I think that's probably kind of normal these days. I kind of feel like if you don't find somebody by about maybe 25 years of age, that it's going to be kind of difficult because I think by then people maybe have an idea of who they want to marry, even though they maybe haven't gotten married yet, because people are getting married later and later in America, where I am. And so my admonition would be, don't take it too personally. Um, you can always ask your close friends, hey, is there something about me, that is turning women off? There's jerks out there that have no trouble getting dates. So it can be a real mystery, and you start maybe making up bad things about yourself because you figure something must be wrong. I'm the same guy that was alone for a very, very long time, and I finally decided to look for a woman in another country, and that would have been the Philippines. That took less than 8 weeks for me to go from, being a disillusioned, lonely single guy in America to being married to a woman from the Philippines. Took less than 8 weeks. Now, I put it in overdrive because we spent a lot of time talking early on, and I wanted to be married. She wanted to marry. That's a big thing there, is finding somebody that actually wants to get married at all, not just to you. And so for me, that took care of the problem very, very quickly. Are you interested in dating someone from another country? It doesn't have to be the Philippines, but they often speak English there, and so that was a plus. And foreign men, I think, can get a better shake in the Philippines than they probably can in their own country. So Love Beyond the Sea, my channel is devoted to helping men get out of that rut and try something different like I did. Look to the Philippines, look to some other country. Maybe they're more amenable to dating and getting married. You can just watch my videos, and I'll try to talk about as many topics as I can that you would want to know about in getting to know a Filipina, and also after marriage. A lot of it deals with after marriage because we didn't spend much time getting to know each other. Proposed on day 18, flew down there and met her on, I don't know, day 34 or something, and we got married on day 54. So it happened very quickly, but I'm the same guy that struggled before. Does that mean all of a sudden I'm better looking or a better guy or have a better personality? No, not at all. I just tried something different. It worked for me. You may want to consider that in your own life, especially before you get too old. For example, if you're 30 years old and you feel like you're not sure you're going to find somebody in the West, it doesn't hurt to look at a dating site with Filipinas in it. My choice was Christian Filipina as a Christian. I just thought, well, is there anything out there like that? And there was, and had lots of choices, and I married the one that wanted somebody very serious. So that worked out very well for me. So while there could be different answers to this question, everybody calls me a great guy, but nobody wants to date me. Why is that? For some of you, it's not you, it's just the location, and you might find things to be a lot different if you look for a woman in another country, as I did. So that's my advice, and stay tuned for more relationship questions and love questions answered here by Dr. Philippines on Love Beyond the Sea.